October, up only October, as predicted. Bitcoin and crypto are skyrocketing, soon to break new all-time highs on a massive fear trade around U.S. government shutdown and, of course, economic, financial, worthless petrodollar fiat collapse, which we also predicted happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm looking for the live stream. I don't see it. I'm going to have to share this later. This is massive. We're going to go across a host of positions here at the Island Project. Make sure you're at the club. Make sure you be clubbing. It really is your last opportunity to get in. Make sure you be getting in. Up only October. It is a beautiful day. We be skyrocketing. So I wake up this morning and I omnisciently prepared you all earlier, and I said on X for free that the positions I've recommended at school will skyrocket suddenly. They will skyrocket suddenly, and you won't be able to enter them. You remember the gold rush? When you hit a big gusher? Well, Bitcoin is the gold rush. It is the oil. Bitcoin is oil. Crypto is oil. So we be gushing across the board. Again, Bitcoin just crushed it. Soon to be on its way to 150K, 300 to 400 grand by year end. RSR up 10%, Ethereum up 5%, Solana up 6%. One of my top picks, LTC, up 6%. Charlie Lee's coin up huge. Trump coin pumping. We also have our privacy coins up huge today. Some of them are up as high as 25 to 40%. Also on the heels, again, every prediction, everything I've ever recommended, all-time highs. Whether or not it's Bitcoin, gold, breaking new all-time highs, you're welcome. Fresh all-time highs as U.S. government shuts down. Also, in addition to that, S&P 500, brand new record today, up only. Massive hyperinflation coming to the United States, massive interest rate cuts, new 52-week high on the gold COMEX exchange. Again, I think silver is going to go to $200 or more. That would just be a simple reset in real terms for its essential correction from a nominal all-time high. I think of about $48 in the 1980s. Other than that, I read a really great book. I finished really probably one of the best books of my life. I'm going to let it kind of sit with me for a while before I bring it to your attention and tell you about it. But I just finished this wonderful book yesterday that's been sticking on my mind for years, for absolute years. I picked it up, read a couple chapters years ago, maybe like a decade ago. It stuck with me so hard that I had to buy it again. I finally finished it, and a lot of it's even built into the Island Project. Pretty incredible. So that's kind of going through my head, circulating, percolating. I love reading. I get most of my knowledge, of course, not from the internet. The internet's mostly trash. The internet is a weapon to control your mind, make you a brain-minded, rotted slave, is what the internet is mostly for. And I was thinking about how sad this is with the advent of AI, too. Not only will less people read books, but people won't put in the labor of love. For example, the author that I'm reading, it was actually published in 1989, to give you a small hint. So I would have only been like eight years old or something like that at the time. And I noticed he did just volumes of research. He read like hundreds of books before he put pen to paper. He had, clerics on the ground, like basically investigating, doing research. He spent time on the ground. I mean, the amount of effort and extremity of what was needed to go in to write this novel, we're going to lose a lot of that. Kind of like how we lost the Old West. Kind of how we lost California. California used to be such a beautiful place and no pollution at all, just pretty girls, beaches for miles. I remember my grandfather telling my father and I stories when he first got there from Kansas. He was like, sold. This place is awesome. And it wasn't until the clash of civilization and industry and the oil discoveries and the gold rush, and then really the invention of the automobile that created a lot more pollution, kind of destroyed the landscape, took parts of Yosemite where they were never the same again. We lost the natural environment, man overtaking the earth. So I have a lot of this kind of in my head today because I want you to understand you're sitting on gushers as a result of my school. You're literally striking gold and oil all at the same time. You've been so way ahead of the curve at islandproject.com that you're literally getting rich. Just like the gold rush, just like striking oil on an oil rig for the first time, or realizing you've got sludge down in the ground when no one else noticed, and then getting a huge gusher and having royalty checks hit your bank account for the rest of your life in the form of crypto and blockchain, and of course, islandproject.com with no bank debt. That's how huge this is, and Donald Trump, of course, has guaranteed it. Donald Trump has guaranteed the golden age. He, of course, is ornating the whole White House in 24 karat gold right now, which is very much a symbol for what is coming, and the 250-year anniversary of the greatest country in the world in 2026. And I told you, as they print more debt, as they destroy your currency, as they take it to 42 trillion, even Jim Cramer is saying this. He's like, yeah, I buy crypto as insurance because the whole country sucks and these criminal politicians have spent all of our money, so there's nothing more we can do but just buy crypto and pray that the whole country doesn't implode, which is what it's doing financially speaking. So just to understand this, let me go share this real quick, bring more people into the room, because for some reason it didn't share properly. But I wanted to get this out earlier this morning because I do have a very busy schedule. I want to encourage you, if you haven't already, we have 342,000 new followers on Facebook. We're going absolutely viral, bonkers in the algorithms on Facebook. I think we've added like 40, 50,000 new bodies just in the last month. Thank you very much. I encourage you to go to islandprojectclub.com. Watch my recent video. It's still not too late to get in, but it will be too late very, very soon. So I want you to understand you're going to miss it. I've told you for years, you don't get warnings. Guys, when the gusher comes, just like a pretty girl, the first person to make the first move, 9 out of 10 times is going to win, right? That's just how life works. You've got to discover these assets before everybody else. I mean, again, I've been recommending Bitcoin since under 1,000. Your financial advisor who sucks told you not to buy it. Now we're trading at $4 trillion. You're rich if you've listened to me. That's just the truth. IslandProject.com, ready to launch Deck 2. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling actually the next few weeks, taking you on grand tours of our property acquisitions. I have more acquisitions I'm putting under contract as well as the launch of Deck 2, more tiers and enhancement of higher tiers, more use, live your investment, cash flows, all the capital gains, plus access to our world-class billion-dollar tokenization launch, because again, we've struck gold. I hope you understand that. We struck multiple gushers. Bitcoin's a gusher, ladies and gentlemen. XRP is a freaking gusher. Ethereum is a gusher. RSR is a gusher, which we're seeing it come to roost. And you will. You're going to see that 1,000x in the coming days, weeks, and months. Litecoin is a gusher, folks. I know Charlie Lee. Okay, I've been in the circle. We're OGs. We've been building in the rain. We've been buying land that no one else wanted. Now we're getting rich because the AI revolution is here. Just like the conquering of California, just like the conquering of the West. Just like any new late great invention. From the automobile to steel to aeroplanes. The list goes on and on. This is like the invention of the tire or wheel or fire. Every sovereign nation state, every major hedge fund, every major bank, every major Fortune 100 company in this country, worldwide, the king of Bhutan, if I'm saying that country's name correctly, all the way to Bukele over in El Salvador, to Donald Trump with 10% of his net worth now in Bitcoin and crypto. See, the only people not in are the American people. The only people not in are people that were listening to people like Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, and they prevented you from making millions. I want you to think about it. These people prevented you from getting rich. They don't want you rich. BlackRock doesn't want you rich, guys. That's why they launched their own ETF. They're the owners of the Bitcoin. They give you a piece of paper in return. They want the marketplace. They want the oil. They want the royalty checks. But see, I'm giving you royalty checks, and I'm pretty much doing it just for free at the school. Take a moment, spend the $1,500. Do it now before you miss the opportunity of a lifetime, the biggest land grab in world history. This is real estate. If you're a millennial, folks, You never had a chance like your grandparents and great-grandparents to buy real estate on the cheap. You do with us. Fractionally owned, best real estate in the world, right? You can get in democratized. That's why we built it. Also, we're tokenizing it. But I want you to think about this in the spirit and idea of Bitcoin. See, you've got cheap Bitcoin to buy now, today. You're going to look back and realize these assets are worth millions, that they are gushers. Just like if you never sell your real estate, it's not hard to get rich. You just buy stuff, you hold it forever, and you never sell. You can always refinance. You can borrow against it. Just like you can borrow against a 401k, you can borrow against your Bitcoin. My grandfather's house purchased for like $30K, worth over $5 million today. $30K in Long Beach, prime real estate, pennies on the dollar. My father, Papa John, bought one of our first houses on a huge acre. Like this was a big, and for us at the time, I remember my dad, he was up and coming with his business. And I think we were like on about an acre. He spent 400 grand. I was looking up how much that property is worth today. It's, somewhere in that $3 to $5 million range. It was just kind of a regular house, a gusher. Again, you're missing it because you're listening to the noise. You're listening to the financial elites that have weaponized this stuff so that you don't get rich. Again, nothing's new under the sun. Nothing's changed. Kings and queens rule society. They want to control the peasant class, control your minds, and enslave you, institutionalize you, right? They want you on Social Security because they know for every $5,000 in taxation that goes to them that you pay out, to the state is actually worth over $6 million at a 10% compounded rate over the average lifetime. Let it sink in. So again, they want you on UBI and Social Security. Your money is valuable. That's why they want even a $5,000 check is worth over $6 million compounded. See, it's easy to get rich. You've got to be smart with money. You have to discover the new oil. You've got to strike and hit gold and discover it before everybody else. You've got to see what someone else doesn't. There's an old story of a gentleman who bought land. He wanted to sell lots out in California, and there was no water. So he promised everybody that there would eventually be water and that this dry, otherwise dusty land would be very prosperous in the future. Well, the water never came. He ended up selling it to another investor. The investor noticed sludge on the ground, struck oil, got rich. And then also the dam they were looking for also came. The water came and he sold the lots. Again, you need to be looking for what other people don't see, what other people don't understand. And most people, it's why I focus so much on education, having taught hundreds of thousands, millions of students, reaching billions of eyeballs worldwide for the last several decades, is because true, real education is the key to your success, your prosperity, your financial well-being, your safety. The list goes on and on. So I've got to cut it short today. Make sure you sign up, islandprojectclub.com. Congratulations to you all. It is a beautiful day. We're at 4 trillion. We're going to the moon. And God bless you. Congratulations on all your success. Watch my video at school before it's too late.